Like, it's not very professional or elegant looking. When you set it down on a desk in a open, quiet office, it makes a lot of clanking sounds, so I appreciate that this one is a little quieter. Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a little over a year since I showed my what's in my work bag for working in a open, unassigned office space, and I got a lot of feedback on that video about how can you work in such an environment? Well, we're still in the open unassigned office space, and now that everyone's really settled into the routine there, I've changed work bags, and I think I've made a few other changes in the things that I carry with me on a daily basis, so I thought I should probably refresh that video. But first, I wanted to tell you about this really cool hair and hand dryer from X-Cool. Honestly, I wasn't planning on keeping this product, and I didn't even know if I would like it, but X-Cool did send this to me for free. So it's one of those compact hair dryers. The handle is a little bit longer than the one that I was using previously, and the head part is a little bit smaller, and then it does have this magnetic nozzle that attaches to it. But the really interesting thing about this hair dryer is that it's also a hand dryer. So it comes with this stand that you mount on your wall, and it comes with the supplies to do that. You can either screw it in, or you can use like a adhesive to attach it to the wall, and then you can actually place the hair dryer in here to store it, and the attachments have a little spot on here too. So just for storage, first of all, it's really cool, but it's also set up so that once it's in this holder, if you put your hand underneath it, it will actually be like a hot air hand dryer, which is really, really cool. But just in general, as a hair dryer, I really like it. I appreciate that it has an actual physical switch to turn it on and set the fan level, which my previous one did not have. And actually all of these controls are on the back side of the handle. So the one that I was using before has buttons on the front side, and you can kind of hit them easily while you're using it. So I do appreciate that it's a little easier to hold in that respect. It does have all the standard modes, so a high fan and a low fan, and a warm and cool setting, as well as there's one that like alternates between warm and cool, and there's a child setting, which I believe is just a cooler temperature as well. So I always just do it on low fan, high heat. I think Brad Mondo recommended that. I also really like that the air intake is here on the end of the handle, and it actually opens up, so you could like clean out any lint or crud. As someone who lives in a house with 3 cats and also has long hair and just seems to have lint and dust everywhere, I really appreciate that ability. And it's just like a really pretty white pearly color, very lightweight. Like my other one, it's small, but it's like dense. So I ended up actually really liking this. So I will be keeping it. I have been using it every time I wash my hair. So thank you so much to X-Cool for providing this hair dryer, and I think it's really cool. I want to check out some of your other products. So if you missed the previous one, at the end of 2023, our entire office went from everybody having their own offices or cubicles to being in a totally open, unassigned space. So you sit in neighborhoods, so you kind of know like where your department's supposed to be, but really anyone could be anywhere. There are many days that I don't even go to a regular desk. I just like perch somewhere for the day. We're required to be in the office a certain number of times per week, but like you never know which days anyone's going to be there. So it's really all about being like mobile and flexible, and just, you know, coming in for the day and saying like, oh, today I need 2 monitors, and finding a desk that has 2 monitors, or today I'm working with this group of people and sitting near that group. So I don't know, I don't think most of us love it still, but we're dealing with it. So when I did this video last year, I had just gotten this brand new bag that I was like, wow, this is gonna solve all my problems, it'll be able to fit all the things that I need, and I ended up not always carrying those things that I thought I was going to be using. I don't even know how long, I think this was on my Amazon wish list for a while, but I ended up getting this different tote bag. It's not Like, it's not very professional or elegant looking, but I've been using this the longest. It's the right size, it's lightweight, it has like the right compartments and sections. I'll put a link to it, of course, but let me show you like what I have in here and kind of how I have it organized. Starting with my water bottle. This is from Iron Flask. I have, I think 4 or 5 Iron Flask pieces now, and I like them because it comes in my color scheme, but this bottle in particular I ended up liking because it has a rubber bottom, which the other bottle I'd been using before has a metal bottom, and just like when you set it down on a desk in a open, quiet office, it makes a lot of clanking sounds, so I appreciate that this one is a little quieter. And then I also like that it has a straw on the top, so it's sort of a strange shape to drink out of, but I do like that it's built in, and on the inside there's just a clear straw that you can take out and easily clean. So I always fill this with water and bring it, you know, with water from home, but it's also really easy to open and refill while I'm there. And then for my hot beverages, I have an Iron Flask little mug. This also has a rubber bottom, and a cool thing about this mug is I usually just take the lid off and just drink from it open, but if you do want to use the lid, there's a little, you know, flip up part that you can drink out of, and you can actually thread it either way. So whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you can thread this lid to open on whichever side that you like, which I think is nice. And again, just not like a lot of little parts and things to have to clean. Okay, I keep finding paper clips in here. I must have just tossed a bunch of paper clips in, and they keep coming out and they're in little pockets. They get stuck on things, so this is not a usual part of my office carry. All right, this is my pencil case. I think I did show this the last time I did this video. So this is from the brand Smasta, or I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's a Japanese brand, and I like this one because when you unzip it, you can actually fold it. It has like a little magnet that holds it in this position, so it becomes like a pen cup that you can sit on your desk. I have a number of different colored pens and highlighters that I like to sit out and use, so whenever I, you know, claim a spot for the day, I can sit my pen cup there and people know. Or, you know, if you don't want to use it in that way, it is a pretty nice thin size. Also, when it is open like this, the front part becomes a little cell phone holder, so you can use that as a kind of a cell phone stand to put up on your desk as well. Oh my gosh, there's more paper clips stuck on this, on the magnet part of it. And then the last thing that I have in this section of my bag is my personal planner. So I've done many videos about these. I won't go through the whole thing, but it is like a weekly and monthly planner. I just fill it out one day at a time with my appointments for that next upcoming day, and then I can use it to make notes of things that I need to track. And I do like the act of writing down my activities and just some very light notes. I'm not like taking meeting minutes in this, but it's also another thing that I can set out on my desk, you know, with my pencil case, and you know, have this sitting out and kind of look like I've you know, have a place reserved for myself. But I do, you know, I keep it shut when I'm not at the desk, I'll say, but it is nice to just have as a little setup there. So in the center padded pocket, I have my laptop, and that's just a standard issue corporate ThinkPad laptop. I'm pretty sure it's 15 inches and it fits in here perfectly. I could probably even put something a little bit bigger. Yeah, there's maybe like an inch or two of additional width, so I wouldn't go much bigger than this, but a standard issue corporate laptop, no problem in there. And then this back section I primarily use for like tech things. So in the one little side pocket, I have my cordless mouse. I don't always use the mouse if I'm sitting at a desk in the open office setup. It does come with a keyboard and mouse you can plug into, so I usually just wipe those down and use them. And sometimes I'll just, you know, use the trackpad on my laptop, but if I do want a mouse, I'll pull out my little wireless mouse. And I also have my headset. So I think I spoke about this before. I have actually a wireless headset that I use at home. For the office, I wanted to get a wired one because I didn't want to have to worry about if it died and carrying a charger around and dealing with all that, this just plugs right into your laptop. It doesn't need its own power. I think actually the audio quality on this one is better than on my wireless headset at home. There is just the issue of the cord. So I try to keep it organized. I have it like with a little Velcro strap here, and you know, you can see it came out pretty nice, but a lot of the times when I go to unstrap this and plug it in and use it, somehow it comes out as a knot. So I try to keep it organized, but it is like a little bit annoying. That's the one thing I don't like about it. And then I just have the cord for my laptop, which it usually is a little bit better organized than this, but again, that's something that if I'm sitting at an official desk, you just plug in and it gives you power, but if I'm sitting anywhere else around the building, I will probably need this to plug in with. So then in this little interior back pocket, I keep a Post-it pad and a pen, because when you find a desk that has something wrong with the technology that's there, like the monitor doesn't work or something, I've found that they don't always fix them, or they kind of, if you report it, they just throw out your ticket sometimes. So if you leave an obnoxious colored Post-it note on the desk, it gets attention and it warns other people. And then finally, this little back zippered pocket is where I ended up keeping my food supplies. So I have a bunch of extra napkins. Whenever I get like extra takeout napkins and things, I'll just put them in there so I have them. I have a packet of tea. We do have like coffee and tea in the office, but in case there's not anything good in the whatever kitchenette that I'm at, I like to just have one of my own just in case. And then I also just have some plasticware. I have a fork, a knife, and a spoon. And I mean, I just bring these home and wash them and use them again, because these are pretty heavy duty ones. But I do like to bring, you know, if I'm there in the morning, I'll bring something for breakfast. If I'm there over lunch, I like to try to bring my lunch rather than purchase. So I like to have all the equipment that I might need. So I hope you found this helpful and interesting. Again, I will have links to everything. Thank you to Xcool for sharing the hair dryer that makes my hair so nice and soft. And if you work in an open office environment and have a tip or a must-have product that you would like to share, I would love to see what other people find helpful. So please do share it. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.